Okay, so I've got some other practice line work to do. This one's kind of a funky one. Again, I'm gonna use a marker so it shows up. I say pencil is probably best. So basically, it's a series of repeating patterns. You can use whatever paper you have. I'm gonna use printer paper. So here's the first one. Um, it's a series of circles, and I try to do the whole thing where you don't lift up your pen. So you kind of drive it around one direction and you spin it back to the other direction. You keep flowing through the whole thing. So the whole idea is spin to the left and then spin around to the right, and go over it a whole bunch if you need to try and make those circles all even. So it's all about size. The large circles should all match up, and then the small circles should all match up. So if you're doing a good job, it does have a sense of symmetry through the middle where everything's the same size. So basically, you're trying to recreate the measurement from the midpoint up and down. You might have to try it a few times to get it to work. Okay, the next one's a series of loops. And here's a big one so you can see how to do it. It's basically up, around, down, around. So you're going to go up, so too small, and then too big. And this might take you a little bit of time to figure out how to do it. It might take a little bit of practice. And that's why I recorded this too, so that you could rewind it and watch it again if you want. So it's kind of like a cursive letter. You're going too big, too small, too big, too small. And just like your circles, you want all your big loops and all your small loops to be approximately the same size. Okay, the next one, a little different shape. I'll try to draw it big so you can see. It kind of reminds me of the at symbol, but basically it goes up, down, and around into a circle. So if you need to practice it a few times, totally fine. But once you figure it out, you're going to loop it all together into like a chain. It almost looks like the letter P a little bit. And this one's really similar to the other ones where you want to make them go up and down the same amount if you can. But also it's the spacing between the parts. So if you can keep it consistent, you're trying to practice the idea of keeping every shape the same height and distance apart. Now, this last one I think is the hardest. It's kind of like a zigzag or a wave. If you need to put a line down to help you keep it the same, that might help. The basic idea is you're going to create a series of spikes that are going to travel from that midpoint up and down the same amount. And each time it's going to get a little bit bigger. And then you're going to go back down again. And the hard part is you're trying to compare it to the last time you went back down. So you're trying to do it in little steps where each time you climb up and down the same amount as the time before. So if you look back on your drawing, all the little small spikes should match, all the medium spikes should match, and then all the top largest spikes should match. I also try to keep the spacing the same so that it's not like totally spread out in parts. But what's really weird about this one is I'm actually looking back to the left side of my paper to compare those parts. So I think that one's the hardest one. I would definitely try it a few times. And it's not just a zigzag. So it's a really controlled kind of movement, almost like a curved spike. I've seen some people that just do a bunch of zigzag, and it's not what it is. So give it a shot. Might take you a few times.